The wonders of the last...
The other thing I wanted to know was like,
Ooh, that was rough.
Uptown Girls. I haven't seen this since I was a kid.
The wonders of the last sea. Very soon after they had left Ramandu's country, they began to feel that they were already sailed beyond the world. All was different. For one thing, they all found that they were needing less sleep. One did not want to go to bed, nor eat much, nor even to talk except in low voices. Another thing was the light. There was too much of it. The sun, when it came up each morning, looked twice, if not 3 times its usual size. And every morning, which gave Lucy the strangest feeling of all, the huge white birds, singing their song with human voices in a language no one knew, streamed overhead and vanished astern on their way to their breakfast at Aslan's table. A little later, they came flying back and vanished into the east. "How beautifully clear the water is," said Lucy to herself as she leaned over the port side early in the afternoon on the second day. And it was. The first thing she noticed was the little black object, about the size of a shoe, traveling along the same speed as the ship. For a moment, she thought it was something floating on the surface, but then there came floating past a bit of stale bread which the cook had just thrown out of the galley, and the bit of bread looked as if it were going to collide with the black thing, but it didn't. It passed above it, and Lucy now saw that the black thing could not be on the surface. Then the black thing suddenly got very much bigger and flicked back to a normal size a moment later. Now Lucy knew that she had seen something just like that happen somewhere else, if only she could remember where. She held her hand to her head and screwed up her face and put out, her tongue in an effort to remember. At last, she did, of course. It was like what you saw from a train on a bright sunny day. You saw the black train on a shadow of your own coach running along the fields at the same pace as your train. Then you went into a cutting and immediately the same shadow flickered close up to you, and you got big, racking alone in the grass and cutting bank. Then you came out of the cutting and flick. Once more the black shadow had gone back to its normal size and it was running along the fields. "It's our shadow." "The shadow of the Dawn Treader," said Lucy. "Our shadow's running along the bottom of the sea. That time, when it got bigger, it went over a hill. But in that case, the water must be clearer than I thought. Good gracious, I must be seeing the bottom of the sea, fathoms and fathoms down." As soon as she had said this, she realized that the great silvery expanse which she had been seeing, without noticing, for some time was really the sand on the seabed, and that all sorts of darker and brighter patches were not lights and shadows on the surface, were real things on the bottom. At present, for instance, they were passing over a mass of soft purpley green with a broad, winding strip of pale gray in the middle of it. But now that she knew it was the bottom, she saw it much better. She could see the bits of the dark stuff which were much higher than other bits and were waving gently. "Just like trees in a wind," said Lucy, "and I do believe that's what they are. It's a submarine forest." They passed on above it. Presently, the pale streak was joined by a pale streak. "If I was down there," thought Lucy, "that streak would be just like a road through the wood, and that place where it joins the other would be a crossroads. Oh, I do wish I was. Hello, the forest is coming to an end, and I do believe the streak really was a road. I can still see it going on across the open sand. It's a different color, and it's marked out with something on the edges, dotted lines, perhaps they are stones. And now it's getting wider." But it was not really getting wider, it was getting nearer. She realized this because of the way in which the shadows of the ship came rushing toward her, and the road. She felt sure She felt sure it was a road now. She felt sure it was a road now. Began to go in zigzags. Obviously, it was climbing up a steep hill. And then she held her head sideways and looked back. What she saw was still like what you see when you look down a winding road from the top of a hill. She could see the shafts of sunlight falling through the deep water onto the wooded valley, and in extreme distance, everything melted into a dim greenness. But some places, the sunny ones, she thought, were ultramarine blue. She could not, however, spend much time looking back. What was coming into view in the forward direction was too exciting. The road had apparently now reached the top of the hill and ran straight forward. Little specks were moving to and fro on it. And now something most wonderful, fortunately in full sunlight, or as full as it can be when it falls through fathoms of water, flashed into sight. It was doubly and jagged, and of pearly or perhaps ivory color. She was so nearly straight above it that at first she could hardly make out what it was. But everything became plain when she noticed its shadow. The sunlight was falling across Lucy's shoulder, so the shadow of the thing lay stretched out on the stand before it. And by its shape she saw clearly that it was a shadow of towers and pinnacles, minarets and domes. "Why, it's a city of a huge castle," said Lucy to herself. "But I wonder what they built on top of a high mountain." Long afterward, when she was back in England and talked all these adventures over with Edmund, they thought of a reason, and I am pretty sure it is the true one. In the sea, the deeper you go, the darker and colder it gets, and as it goes and it is down there in the dark and cold that dangerous things live. The squid and the serpents and the kraken. The valleys are the wild, unfriendly places. The sea people feel about their valleys as we do about mountains, and feel about mountains as we feel about valleys.